For more than a quarter of a century, famous journalist Graham Hancock has been on a quest to discover ancient civilizations buried in time. In any case, his numerous claims have been labeled audacious, at least until now, when he warns that he has discovered a completely new civilization. What has Graham Hancock discovered this time? What does humanity stand to gain from this new civilization? British author Graham Hancock, known for his research on human civilization, is without a doubt an unconventional pseudoscientist. With over 12 books, he has compiled an in-depth overview of early human civilization that many archaeologists and historians have chosen to disregard or fail to focus on over the years. Hancock disagrees with archaeologists who believe that the first known civilizations emerged independently. As a result, the majority of his works have focused on how ancient cultures such as Egypt, Babylon, Mesopotamia, and Mesoamerica connect with an ancient, glorious, unknown civilization. He hypothesizes that a cataclysm destroyed an advanced Ice Age civilization, and that the surviving members of this advanced civilization taught simple hunter-gatherers agriculture, architecture, astronomy, arts, math, and expertise for civilization. And the reason there is so little evidence, he claims, is because any evidence supporting his claims is either under the sea or has been wiped out by the same cataclysm. How strange. Nonetheless, for many years now, he has refused to be labeled as a scientist or archaeologist, preferring to refer to himself as a journalist investigating human prehistory. In any case, despite his persistent search for ancient civilization in recent times, it wasn't until 1992 that Hancock shifted his focus to hypothetical accounts of human prehistory and ancient civilizations with his book, The Sign and the Seal. And among his dozens of books on ancient civilization are the iconic Fingerprints of the Gods and Magicians of the Gods, published in 1995 and 2015 respectively. In his book, Fingerprints of the Gods, the British author mapped out Antarctica, claiming that it left evidence in ancient Egypt and American civilizations. Hancock even cited a variety of archaeological sites, including Tiwanaku in Bolivia, to back up his claim. Tiwanaku is a pre-Columbian archaeological site near Lake Titicaca in western Bolivia, and it's one of the largest in South America. It is essentially a planned city, with surface remains covering approximately 4 square kilometers and including adorned ceramics, megalithic blocks, and monumental structures. Nonetheless, Tiwanaku, according to UNESCO, peaked between 400 and 900 AD. But in Fingerprints of the Gods, Hancock argues that it peaked sooner, and that the area peaking earlier than the widely accepted date indicates ancient civilization. Hancock's 1995 bestseller was the first time he referred to the ancient Atlantis as core evidence of ancient civilization, when he boldly suggested that in 10,450 BC, a major pole shift occurred in Antarctica, which was the site of the ancient Atlantis. This particular theory of his was based on Charles Hapgood's theory of Earth crustal displacement. In his 2015 bestseller Magicians of the Gods, The Forgotten Wisdom of Earth's Lost, which was a sequel to Fingerprints of the Gods, Hancock's explanation for the destruction of this ancient civilization evolved into the Younger Dryas's impact hypothesis. The hypothesis proposed that around 10,800 BC, fragments of a large disintegrated asteroid or comet with a diameter of more than 4 kilometers struck North America, South America, Europe, and Western Asia, causing catastrophic damage, climate change, and rising sea levels. He specifically claims that coastal civilization in and around the Atlantic Ocean, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Ocean were destroyed by rising sea levels, caused by the disintegrating asteroid or comet. He also emphasized that only a portion of the supposedly high advanced unknown lost civilization, which was located in Antarctica at the time, was able to survive the destructive catastrophic events. Hancock goes on to claim that this is the origin of the biblical flood, or the various flood myths we've come to know, and that what we think of as human history is merely the record of human events that have transpired since the last great planetary catastrophe. Nevertheless, despite the numerous claims that he is a pseudo-archaeologist, Hancock has some surprising evidence to back up his claims. After all, what can archaeologists make of the discovery of Göbekli Tepe ruins in Turkey? Or the discovery of the nanodiamonds in North America, a type of diamond formed by a cosmic impact? The uncovered ruins of the archaeological site Göbekli Tepe Temple were dated to be at least 11,600 years old, making it more than 6,000 years older than other megalithic monuments like Stonehenge. How else can a civilization capable of such advanced architecture and art more than 11,600 years ago be explained? Hancock claims that the Göbekli Tepe was built with the assistance of people from a more advanced civilization, because it is too advanced to have even been built by hunter-gatherers alone. Furthermore, the fact that those who built it left no tangible proof of their existence aside from the structures that Hancock believes represent astronomical constellations reveals that they represent a sophisticated civilization that could possibly be extraterrestrial. At the very least, Göbekli Tepe, would mean that some as yet unknown and unidentified people somewhere in the world had already mastered all the arts and attributes of a high civilization more than 12,000 years ago in the depths of the last ice age, and sent out emissaries around the world to spread the benefits of their knowledge, Hancock asserted. However, aside from the Göbekli Tepe temple, the discovery of hexagonal nanodiamonds in the Greenland ice sheet supported by the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis endorse Hancock's ancient civilization argument. There's no way you are going to get these kind of particles in the ice sheet unless they are raining out of the atmosphere, Younger Dryas impact hypothesis researcher James Kennett said at the time of its discovery. More to that, the great mysteries of the Great Sphinx of Giza further prove his point of view. One of the great mysteries of the Great Sphinx of Giza and the argument it is 12,000 years old was that the archaeological argument that no way it can be 12,000 years old, because there was no culture in the world at that time that was capable of making such monuments, Hancock said. Over the years, archaeologists have claimed that the Great Sphinx dates back to 2500 BCE, but Hancock believes that evidence of water erosion shows that we have been misled, and that the Great Sphinx may have existed for many thousands of years before the ancient Egyptians. The British historian provided evidence indicating that the erosion on the Great Sphinx was caused by thousands of years of heavy rain, implying that the Great Sphinx is older than 2500 BCE, when Egypt received more rain than it does now. In any case, Hancock's works have had a long-lasting impact on the public, but many scientists consider almost all of his scientific theses to be pseudo-scientific, and archaeologists consider his works to be examples of pseudo-history and pseudo-archaeology. According to reports in the media, none of Hancock's research articles were even peer-reviewed. Graham Hancock's most recent discovery appears to have stunned many scientists and archaeologists, even as he claims to have discovered a brand new civilization. In his latest Netflix documentary series, Hancock reiterates his theory of an advanced Ice Age civilization that was destroyed in a cataclysm. But in an unexpected turn of events, he claims to have discovered the location of a brand new civilization. In the documentary, Hancock argues that viewers should not rely on the so-called experts, implying that they should instead rely on his narrative because he believes that mainstream archaeologists, the so-called experts who practice censorship, are hell-bent on hiding the truth about ancient civilization and will try anything to discredit his work. He emphasized that archaeologists have purposefully covered up this catastrophic version of civilization's spread, and he accuses mainstream academia's attitude of being extremely defensive, arrogant, and patronizing. In any case, the location of this lost civilization has been debated for years, with evidence pointing to ancient civilizations in both the Atlantic and the Sahara. Hancock, on the other hand, warns that he has discovered a brand new civilization, and it's none other than the mythical Atlantis. Since Greek philosopher Plato first told the story 2,300 years ago, the mythological area has become a legend. But afterwards, there occurred violent earthquakes and floods, and in a single day and night of misfortune, all your warlike men in a body sank into the earth, and the island of Atlantis in like manner disappeared in the depths of the sea, Plato wrote in his dialogue Timaeus and Critias. Despite its minor importance in Plato's work, the fictional island has had a huge impact on literature and pseudoscience over the years. Even Plato acknowledged that the ancient civilization of the Atlanteans existed more than 9,000 years before his time. Nonetheless, the story of Atlantis' ancient civilization ended with its sinking into the Atlantic Ocean after falling out of favor with its gods. But the sinking story has not deterred many enthusiasts from searching for its location to provide further evidence that a lost civilization existed many years before the recorded time of human civilization began. Furthermore, Plato's alleged location of Atlantis, which he stated is beyond the Pillars of Hercules, has only fueled much pseudo-scientific speculation, and as such, Hancock would not be the first to suggest Atlantis exists in modern times. Ignatius Donnelly, a 19th century amateur scholar and famous writer, published Atlantis, the Antediluvian World in 1882, arguing that a highly complex, sophisticated culture was wiped out by a flood 10,000 years ago. Donnelly even claimed that its survivors had spread throughout the world, teaching the rest of humanity about farming and agriculture. It appears that Hancock's version has been simply an updated version. However, unlike Donnelly, Hancock has been searching for his long-lost civilization, and it appears that the most likely location of the original Atlantis is the Greek island of Santorini. Hancock, in his Netflix special Ancient Apocalypse, suggested that the destruction happened 12,000 years ago, and this time appears to differ significantly from the alternative view proposed by scientists and archaeologists, who have all agreed that it occurred around 1630 BC, when the island of Santorini exploded in one of the most violent eruption events in human history. When asked why he has remained a contrarian, with many scientists and archaeologists are opposed to his views and discoveries, the British author admitted that he has always gone against the mainstream and will continue to do so. He emphasized that his convictions about his work began when he was covering the 1984 Ethiopian famine and came across an ancient world story claiming that Ethiopians possessed the lost Ark of the Covenant. Hancock also stated that his transformation from a left-wing journalist to a one-man crusade against the archaeological establishment is based on pieces of evidence such as the Great Pyramids being aligned to within 3/16 of a single degree of true north, and the fact that no Egyptian pharaoh's body has ever been found inside any Egyptian pyramid. As such anomalies are evidence of something out of the ordinary, something that scientists and archaeologists have not been telling us for years. Nonetheless, Hancock appears to be so certain that he has discovered a brand new civilization in Atlantis, when he noted that we have always known that there have been lost civilizations throughout history. And a vivid example beyond Egypt or Antarctica is the Harappan civilization in the Indus Valley 5,000 years ago. The civilization was so advanced that it had a sophisticated sewage system, large public buildings, and even indoor plumbing. Aside from that, they made a lot of inscriptions that we haven't been able to translate yet, which shows how far ahead of their time they were. In addition, new discoveries have continued to call into question traditional assumptions about the true age of human civilization and how intertwined everything is. Hancock used the similarities in culture and religious themes between ancient Egypt and those of the deep south of the United States, specifically around Moundville in Alabama. Even though more than a millennium has passed between the apex of the two cultures, he emphasized that because ancient Egypt had vanished from the world before Moundville was built, the Egyptians could not have sailed across the seas and directly influenced the Moundville culture. And yet, there are striking similarities that are so comprehensive and in-depth that it's impossible to reduce them to just coincidence, further proving that we don't know everything there is to know about ancient civilizations. And that his brand new discovery, however discredited it is among scientists and archaeologists around the world, is proof that there is more to his research than just fiction, as it is widely perceived. Bottom line, I don't claim I'm right. My role has been to explore an extraordinary possibility, Hancock said.
Yeah, where are the aliens?
Do you guys believe in life forms outside of Earth? Do you think there are?
I mean, I think there's quite a high chance of microbial life. Then as you get more advanced in life, there's less and less likelihood of like sophisticated life.
But do you think there's do you think there are aliens out there
that we can talk to? You mean, as opposed to like bacteria?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting confluence of events. Like it's not just that there has to be life, intelligent life that evolves somewhere, but that life has to last for a long time for us to exist at the same time as that. So, and what it suggests is there's this great question. It's called the Fermi paradox. Like, where are the aliens? Like, if there are so many planets out there, and the universe is almost 14 billion years old, why aren't the aliens everywhere? This is one of the most perplexing questions, because you could basically bicycle to Alpha Centauri in a few 100,000 years, like meaning that's at bicycle speed. So it's sort of like in 100 million years, like even at a very slow speed, you could completely blanket the galaxy. So why not? Where are they?
And I think it was Carl Sagan that said, like, there either are a lot of aliens or none, and they're equally terrifying. If there are a lot of aliens, well, the invasion ship slash bug infestation, just, you know, like the
Starship Trooper style.
well, yeah, I mean, it's like an alien civilization might just view us as like a bug infestation.
Right.
You know, it's like, hey, we left that planet, it was fine. Now it's got a bunch of bugs. Just go fumigate it. You know, like we'd fumigate a house. That's certainly possible. And then, but if there are no aliens, well, could it be that all civilizations are just destroyed before they become interstellar? You know, so. And I want to be clear, like, to the best of my knowledge, there is no evidence for alien life on Earth. There's no direct evidence for alien life. No, you know, and if somebody says, oh, what about this alien sighting or whatever, I'm like, listen, it's got to be at least as good as a 7-Eleven or ATM cam, okay? It's like, if somebody's got to have at least like an iPhone 1 level camera, like something, you know?
The problem with that is it's just too easy to fake things today, too.
Yeah, sure. They should at least try hard in faking. If I see some evidence for aliens, I'll be the first to be like, aliens, you know.
Right. Then you'll investigate. But until then, you think it's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have archaeologists going all over the world looking at things. You know, there's people like if we were to find something like, let's say, like a cube of titanium, just like a 1-inch cube of titanium, let's say in the middle of the pyramid, I'd be like, aliens for sure. There's no way they could have made titanium back then. There's no way. That's hard. That's all. One little, didn't even need a computer. Like a computer would be like, hey, wow, computers, they didn't have computers back then, so it must be aliens. But even just like some advanced metallurgy, anything, like, you say anything like that.
Do you think that they would want us to know? Or do you think they would just be observing and making sure we don't blow ourselves up? Would
I don't know, man. They're real civilization. They sure are subtle. I mean, if they wanted us to know, obviously they could just,
for sure,
you know, show up and walk down Main Street, you know, like, hey, I'm an alien, check me out, you know.
Right.
Here's my spaceship, and just land in the middle of Times Square. I'd be like,
right,
okay.
Or hover over downtown LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, we believe you.
Yeah.
So whatever they are very subtle, these aliens.
How often do you think about it?
None, zero.
Zero? Even though you're thinking about interplanetary travel, you don't really think about aliens.
No, I mean, if they show up, I'm like, great, okay, now this is new information. But we... well, yeah.
What an interesting way of putting it. This is new information.
This is new information. Like, where were you guys up till now?
Yeah.
On a galactic timescale, even with sublight travel, you could absolutely colonize the whole galaxy, even some of the neighboring galaxies. So if you said 1 million years with and say there's no new physics, could you colonize the galaxy in 1 million years? Absolutely, the entire galaxy.
So you would start with Mars, build bases on Mars, then use Mars to jump off to all these other planets, set up places there, and over thousands of years easily.
Just kind of like hop from one solar system to the next, and Imagine we were going to be visited. Imagine you were very confident that we were going to be visited by super intelligent aliens in, let's say, 10 years or 20 years at the most. Super intelligent.
So you think within 20 years
yes,
we have alien in Earth?
Well, digital super intelligence will be like an alien.
It will be like an alien.
Yeah.
But my question is, do you think there is other intelligent life outside the Earth?
It seems probable, but I think this is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, is where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know. Some people think I'm an alien. Not true. Not true.
Ellen, I mean, if you look at this part of the world, they believe that human beings are not from Earth. They came from somewhere else. Eve and Adam came from somewhere else to Earth. So in a way, human being alien to this land. Do you think we'll make contact with alien within the next 50 years?
Well, that's a really tough one to say. I mean, if there are super intelligent aliens out there, they're probably already observing us. That would seem quite likely, and we just are not smart enough to realize it. But I can do some back-of-the-envelope calculations, and any advanced alien civilization that was at all interested in populating the galaxy, even without exceeding the speed of light, even if you're only moving at, say, 10 or 20% of the speed of light, you could populate the entire galaxy in, let's say, 10 million years, maybe 20 million years max. This is nothing, in the grand scheme of things.
To the best of our knowledge, life exists only on Earth. I mean, there's a good argument that it exists elsewhere, but we've seen no sign of it. I think it's important for us to take advantage of that window while it is open and to establish life on another planet in the solar system, just in case something goes wrong with Earth. And there could be either a natural or man-made disaster that knocks the technology level below that which is possible, where it is possible to travel to another planet. My interest in the future of humanity is, I guess, as a function of reading a lot of sci-fi and philosophy as a kid, and just sort of thinking about, okay, what's important to do? Like, why do anything? What's the meaning of life? And I came to the conclusion that what we really need to do is make sure that life continues into the future, and particularly conscious life. And in doing so, we'll better able to understand the nature of the universe and achieve greater enlightenment.
Where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us. I don't know. Like, if there are so many planets out there and the universe is almost 14 billion years old, why aren't the aliens everywhere? This is one of the most perplexing questions. Where are they?
Do you think we'll make contact with aliens within the next 50 years?
Well, that's a really tough one to say. They're probably already observing us, and we just are not smart enough to realize it. There either are a lot of aliens or none, and they're equally terrifying. I mean, if there are super intelligent aliens out there, they're probably already observing us. That would seem quite likely, and we just are not smart enough to realize it. But I can do some back-of-the-envelope calculations, and any advanced alien civilization that was at all interested in populating the galaxy, even without exceeding the speed of light, even if you're only moving at, say, 10 or 20% of the speed of light, you could populate the entire galaxy in, let's say, 10 million years, maybe 20 million years max. This is nothing, in the grand scheme of things. So, where are the aliens? I think it was Carl Sagan that said, like, there either are a lot of aliens or none, and they're equally terrifying. If there are a lot of aliens, well, I mean, the invasion ship / bug infestation, it's like an alien civilization might just view us as like a bug infestation. Right. It's like, hey, we left that planet, it was fine, now it's got a bunch of bugs, just go fumigate it, like we'd fumigate a house. That's certainly possible. And then, but if there are no aliens, well, could it be that all civilizations are just destroyed before they become interstellar? So, and I want to be clear, like, to the best of my knowledge, there is no evidence for alien life on Earth. There's no evidence for alien life. There's no direct evidence for alien life. I mean, we have archaeologists going all over the world looking at things. There's people, like, if we were to find something like, let's say, like a cube of titanium, just like a 1-inch cube of titanium, say in the middle of the pyramid, I'd be like, aliens for sure. There's no way they could have made titanium back then. Now, and the thing is that on a galactic timescale, even with sublight travel, you could absolutely colonize the whole galaxy, even some of the neighboring galaxies. So if you said 1 million years with and say there's no new physics, could you colonize the galaxy in 1 million years? Absolutely, the entire galaxy.
I mean, I think there's quite a high chance of microbial life. There's a much that then as you get more advanced in life, that there's less and less likelihood of like sophisticated life.
But do you think there are aliens out there
that we can talk to? You mean? It's an interesting confluence of events. Like, it's not just that there has to be life, intelligent life that evolves somewhere, but that life has to last for a long time for us to exist at the same time as that. What it suggests is there's this great question. It's called the Fermi paradox. Like, where are the aliens? Like, if there are so many planets out there, and the universe is almost 14 billion years old, why aren't the aliens everywhere? This is one of the most perplexing questions, because you could basically bicycle to Alpha Centauri in a few 100,000 years, like, meaning that's at bicycle speed. So it's sort of like, in 100 billion years, like, even at a very slow speed, you could completely blanket the galaxy. So why not? Where are they?
They sure are subtle. I mean, if they wanted us to know, obviously they could just,
for sure,
show up and walk down Main Street,
right.
Like, hey, I'm an alien, check me out,
Right.
Here's my spaceship, I just land in the middle of Times Square. I'll be like,
right.
Okay.
Or hover over downtown LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, we believe you.
Yeah.
So whatever they are very subtle, these aliens.
How often do you think about it?
None, zero.
Zero? Even though you're thinking about interplanetary travel, you don't really think about aliens.
No, I mean, if they show up, I'm like, great, okay, now this is new information.
The Mars thing is really, like, if you say what is going to be really important to the preservation of civilization or life as we know it, more than just humanity, because of course we bring life as we know it to Mars, and there's no life that we can detect on the surface of Mars. There may be some subterranean bacterial life, but it's on the surface there isn't anything. So this would be the extension of life to another planet, or life as we know it to another planet, and I think would make a huge difference to the probable lifespan of human civilization and life as we know it. So it's sort of like an insurance policy, a life insurance policy of life collectively, and so it's
The window of possibility is open for us to extend life to another planet. To the best of our knowledge, life exists only on Earth. I mean, there's a good argument that it exists elsewhere, but we've seen no sign of it. I think it's important for us to take advantage of that window while it is open, and to establish life on another planet in the solar system, just in case something goes wrong with Earth. There could be either a natural or man-made disaster that knocks the technology level below that which is where it is possible to travel to another planet.
Yes, it's funny. The universe appears to be 13.8 billion years old. Earth is like 4.5 billion years old. In another 500 million years or so, the sun will expand and probably evaporate the oceans and make life impossible on Earth, which means that if it had taken consciousness 10% longer to evolve, it would never have evolved at all. Just 10% longer. And I wonder how many dead one-planet civilizations there are out there in the cosmos that never made it to the other planet and ultimately extinguished themselves or were destroyed by external factors. Probably a few.